Welcome back to Poland for the PGL Kraków Major. It is our 11th major in history, our third day, or second day rather, here in the arena as we get ready to welcome the hometown favourites. Of course, Virtus.Pro are in the arena today, and likely the crowd are here to rip off the roof. And before we get there, and before we talk to our analysts though today, let's check back in on day one at the arena, because we had 3 quarterfinals yesterday. Surprise, spills, blood, sweat and tears. They were all there.
Previously on the PGL Major Kraków 2017.
Still on top of things, but the bomb will make its way quickly towards B. A very cheeky fake coming in here from the Gambit side, and this works. It's giving them a plant, but Dennis needs to be on his mark as well with the AWP. JW indeed will be falling victim to the close range of that Tech 9 from Hobbit as he starts to push the issue around the train. Another frag all of a sudden. Oh my goodness, Hobbit with 3, and there's problems now here for Fnatic.
Desperation will push Fnatic towards the A site where they are so hungry for these kills. The CT's trying the double pick, but it's 3 kills for the T's. It falls apart again for Fnatic, for Gambit, sorry. Mo stuck in a crossfire on the site, trying to delay the spray. It will be good enough. What a hero play from Mo.
Device, and that is going to prompt the rotation coming through.
Device on almost no health at all, and he's going to be in a lot of trouble. He actually gets a kill on one, and Sip is there to try and follow it up. Fur goes down again, 30 seconds left now. It's a 2-on-2, and Device doing so much work. Another headshot coming in, and Taco goes down. Device on just 7 health gets a quad kill to save the round for his team. The smoke, the purple, he had to react. There's only 4 seconds. He's around the box trying to see if he can get the plant down. Taco with a headshot. Glaive coming out, but Taco's a hero, taking 3 kills.
Sadly for Phelps, he gets gunned down by Device, who's going to take advantage of the smoke as well to stay alive for the hesitation by Costa. The timing is there, but Zip is there to keep his teammate alive, and it's a lockout. SK Gaming, they can't crack the defense. A perfect hold for Astralis.
Lucas is hot on the flank, the bomb not yet planted. He times this, he could easily take down the planter. He's got to be careful with his aim, and he's followed it up. Resets it, goes back for next.
The platform, and Eddie, he finds another kill as well, takes 2! This is falling apart for Big, up to Godfrey on 15 HP. The bomb has not been planted, surely he can't do it, and it's Eddie who steps up just when they need him. 3 kills in the round.
Gambit, Astralis and Immortals all making their way through to the final 4. We'll also find out our last semi-finalist, of course, when Virtus.Pro go head-to-head in our first match of the day against North. Plenty to talk about before that, though, and recap on a great first day in the arena. We've got Natu and Sponge alongside. Good afternoon, gents.
Good day. Hello. How are you doing?
Good, yeah, very good. We look back on that and you kind of, it reminds you, doesn't it? You kind of, oh, yeah, there was that, and there was that, and there was, oh, my goodness, yeah, there was those. But there's also some bits you can't possibly show anything in 3 minutes. You can't show everything. For me, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but Device yesterday, just extraordinary performance against Fallen.
We said it in the post-game, it was just an absolute dismantling, right? The way that he prepared for Fallen in those matchups, everything went his way. Every angle he peaked, Fallen was there, ready to go down. So, fantastic performance from Device. I've never seen anything as clinical as that in a Counter-Strike match, to be completely honest with you.
And against a player of Fallen's caliber, you know, we've raved about him all week, and said what a legend he is and double winner, of course. But just, I mean, it seemed like he'd be like, all right, well, I'll go long then. Oh, he's there. Oh, well, I'll go toilets then. Oh, he's there. Oh, right. Well, maybe I'll sit back on site then. Well, he's got me there as well. Just anything he could do, he just couldn't get away with it.
That's what we always rave about Fallen, is the fact that you rarely ever see anyone strip him from his strengths, from his weapons. He time and time again finds a new way, a solution, an answer to any kind of a obstacle or a question that is arrived into his game. So it's just insane to see how well Device played in that game.
Let's take a look at the bracket and show you how things shaked out yesterday and where teams will be moving forward through. Chad, you and I spoke a little bit before we came on air. The Immortals big game, in any shape or form, was a button burner. It was just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a bit of a banger, wasn't it? You know, I think one of the highlights of it, obviously all three maps were close. I think the thing that was most interesting to me was the fact that we had the booths with the players facing each other and them taunting each other and stuff, and that's really exciting. I think, like, especially where I've come from and my brand of Counter-Strike, I love that. I remember looking back.
I think we're all on board with that. You know, Natu and I
100%.
were doing LANs 10, 15 years ago where we sat literally
face to
the other
face.
side of a wall with each other, and we'd get up and shout and scream at each other. So here's the schedule for today. First up, North versus Virtus.Pro, the final quarter-final. And then, of course, we'll move into Gambit versus Astralis, the first of our two semi-finals. Plus, Immortals will also play the winner of North versus Virtus.Pro at the end of the day. Polish crowd, of course, hoping, praying that their team make it through and they can watch them twice in a day.
Well, they were that extra man, right? You know, I think if I had 15,000 people cheering for me, that would probably spur me on quite a lot. And I hope they, well, for the crowd's sake, you know, they would want to get to that semi-final. Give them another chance to watch them.
Yep. Just again, reflecting on the quarterfinals, Immortals coming through. It's such a great story for them. They've come through the qualifiers, finally got here.
Yeah.
Get out of the groups, get to the quarters. And you sort of think, they've done well then. Yeah, good major. You've got to the major quarterfinals, but now the semis, anything can happen now.
Yeah, definitely. And what I've been super happy to see is how, you know, I've kind of been one to complain about how they do too many things by feel. It's not always structured when it comes to a lot of the things of retakes or certain scenarios where they want to fight the opposition once they've lost some map control, for example. Sometimes it's just like so gung-ho, it doesn't make sense at all. But this time I've actually showcased that they can develop. You know, they're not only that emotional team that just rallies on getting that good high through winning some rounds, but instead it's actually constructed. So that's the kind of thing they have to keep on going at if they want to go further.
Organised chaos, I think we'll call it. We're going to get into our first matchup of the day, and we'll start with Virtus.Pro. Before we get the thoughts of our analysts, though, why don't we check in with Sir Scoots, who's been busy interviewing a number of players, including Taz.
All right, Sir Scoots here, and this time I'm with the man who's got tons of fans in the building, Virtus.Pro's Taz. How are you, Taz? Nice to see you again.
I'm good. Happy to see all the fans.
Let's get right into it. You are the oldest guy in the building right now. Well, oldest player in the building. I'm a few years older than you. You're 31, and you've been playing this game for a very, very long time. What keeps, you know, before we get into the Counter-Strike stuff, what's kept you motivated for so many years? You know, from a young guy playing the game in his early partied years, whatever, to husband now, father now, and you're still grinding just as intense as you always did.
I think it's a competition. I think it's a bit of arrogance inside of me, and something which I want to achieve. You know, it's like I don't feel like we achieved everything. I don't feel I achieved everything. There's constantly something I want to improve on. I work harder and harder, and this drives me, you know. I get just drive from the competition, and I want to achieve more and more, and nothing changes, you know. 17 years going, and I had the same attitude, and the only thing I get tired sometimes is my teammates. But it's something which you have probably when you are in a marriage, or when maybe you have friends which you are knowing for like 10 years and stuff like that. You just know the habits which are very like not cool, and sometimes it's like a bit one word, but it's like over the edge and stuff like that. So that's the only thing, but the other things are like, you know, I'm just a competition beast, and I just love competition.
And to that point, you've been to every single major. You've won one, the last one in Poland you guys won, beat NIP, and a heartbreaker for them. That was when they were on their like second place only little fest and destroyed them. You know, that was amazing to see in front of the home crowd. I want to point out something to you. Last major you won, I was also at and working, just so you know. I went to the E-League one. I wasn't working it. You didn't win, so here I am. Maybe something's going to happen here. You know, I'm here. You're here.
I like the way you're going. Yeah, so hopefully this is a good
luck charm
sign.
For you. The old guy is here for the other old guy. So to your point about like your teammates, you've also always been a captain that doesn't instantly go, okay, you're the problem, replace the fifth guy, bring a new guy in. You work through the in-game stuff, you deal with the out-of-game stuff, and at the end of the day, you end up with a stronger, bonded team that can go through the fires, if you will, right?
I mean, I think that this is the way we are working, but the main reasoning behind it is that I always cherish the people around myself. You know, I try to have people which I trust. I try to have people which I have fun to play with or being around with. You know, and I want to have good people around me. And when I feel that I have good people who are not only thinking about themselves, but they are also, you know, ready to help others, then I feel like I don't want to do changes. You know, every change we made with a hard heart. You know, only one change I didn't do with hard heart. It was kicking Luke. But other changes was always like really heartbreaking.
And finally, after all these years, you know, you've found a great ownership group. You know, you definitely had your series of owners and bad contracts not being paid and all this stuff. And you finally seem to have found an ownership home, which probably, again, a guy your age with real responsibilities, obviously you have to pay the bills. That pressure goes away. You're very well taken care of as long as you keep doing well and you do all you're supposed to do. So that allows you to just worry about kicking everyone's butt, I guess, right?
I mean, this is even hard to say in words, you know. The support we have from Anton, the support we have from Virtus.Pro from the beginning, this is like one word, trust, you know. You just feel a relief after like 14 years of, like, we know everything. We know how it was to earn like 500 euro per month. We know how it was for like over half a year without earning any money, going compete for tournaments, knowing that win or lose will decide your fate in life. Not in game, in life. Okay, if we lose 2 events in a row, I need to pack up and go and to work. I need to go do different stuff because I don't have money to keep myself and keep my family alive. There were moments where we needed to keep our families, you know, not only people we, you know, close to, like wife and daughters and stuff like that, but also, you know, in a higher degree. So this was very stressful times, you know. We knew how it is to be in a good side, bad side. And when VP came, after some time, the trust was just incredible, you know, and it keeps on going till now. It just feels like it's family, you know.
We'll assume that in your mind you're going all the way to the finals. Who are you playing in the finals?
I would love to play against SK in the final, just because they are so sure of themselves, just because Fer is so sure of himself when I talk with him. I just dream of beating him in the final, you know, here on stage in Major.
All right, that's going to be it for the interview. Anything you want to say to your fans, to everyone in the arena?
Actually, what I want to say first, I want to thank VP, Virtus.Pro organization. I want to thank Roman, our CEO, for doing everything what he can for us to feel comfortable. And obviously, I want to thank our fans. Can I say it in Polish?
Yeah, we can look right at him.
Chciałem wam podziękować za to, że jesteście. Mam nadzieję, że będziecie z nami. Mam nadzieję, że damy czadu, a wy nam w tym pomożecie. Trzymajcie kciuki i dopingujcie.
Absolutely brilliant. The man is a legend. He absolutely is. I've had a real privilege to know him as a friend for the last 15 years or so. It's great to see how far he's come and just how privileged he is now, but never forgets his roots either. It's a thing that I think we can all kind of attest to, isn't it? We've all gone through those moments of, crap, how am I going to pay the bills this month, and you know, how are we going to carry on? And I think it gives you a bit more perspective, doesn't it, from the older point of view and enjoying what we've got now. Yeah,
you know, they didn't come into the scene, they weren't around when all the big bucks were, so it's been a grind for them. And it's great to see, you know, this iteration of the gold, I guess we can call them the Golden Five again, maybe to some degree if they want that title once more. But seeing them stick together like this, these guys are the definition of like family and working through hardships in Counter-Strike. Like other teams might have similar, you know, similar views, but these guys are the real deal. They've been together like this for so long, and no one can hold a flame to them.
7 years with the core three of Pasha, Taz, and Neo. And get this, the longest running partnership of any professional esports team for 13 years, Neo and Taz. That's extraordinary.
Good innings.
Well, yeah, I did play against him in 2004 for the first time at LLM. Just to put that into perspective.
It's just made Natu feel really old right now as well.
Yeah, and even then, they were up and coming at that point in time. No one really, knew them in the top scene, and we played a really, really rough game. We just narrowly beat them on Nuke, I remember. And then, history tells you the rest of the story, right? Yeah, I mean, just phenomenal individuals. And what is so surreal about this team is that, them having been this 5-man unit for such a long time is how they've reinvented themselves so many times. What I think the one thing that's really been the key factor to it, what they every time they've done once they've gone through a struggle is they've kind of simplified the way they approach the game. And kind of let their instincts do the work, because obviously with all that chemistry and all the experience they have, their intuition and just the way they can go with the flow can really work for them wonders. But then again, it's also volatile at times, so that's kind of the scrappiness we see from them every now and again. And you'll see some smokes that are not perfectly placed entirely. You'll see them kind of in some rounds where they're supposed to be super dominant, they'll end up losing multiple players, So it's fun to watch, and they're just a phenomenal team.
In terms of the way that these two match up, they've got a little bit of history between them.
Well, they just played the other day, which is the exciting part. And I think in that matchup on Mirage, it could have gone either way. It was 16-14. It's a map that VP has been known for over the years. One that North is pretty good on. Players like Config, you always expect flashy things out of. But there's two interesting points. Is Bialy had a pretty rough game in the sense of he missed some very important kills. He made some big blunders which could have, made the game fall in VP's favor, which is not stereotypical for him.
Yep. And
then AZ had a good game, which we don't normally see AZ playing at the top for North. It's normally Magic's Boy, Config, even Cajun chiming in. So if AZ can continue this form, it's looking really good for North.
Yeah, I think that was the key. I think you actually brought that key point out on the very first day when we were talking about the group stages. A lot depends on how he's fitting into the team now and whether he's actually settled and he's back to the mad fragger.
Yeah, the issue to the matter is that, do they have too many chefs? Rubino was the more of a support kind of player, and I think he really fit the bill really flawlessly, to be honest with the AZ. Then again, he used to have much more freedom in his previous teams, and how do they utilize him in this lineup is kind of the question. I think another factor to their success has to be Cajun B. He's had a pretty solid tournament so far. He's just risen to the occasion of being that mobile kind of an opera that we need to have.
We've got teams waiting backstage. They're not too far away from heading outside. There you can see the Virtus.Pro boys, new tops today.
This is Mighty Ducks-esque, where they go into the change rooms, they're Team USA, and they come out wearing their
Flying V.
their old kit, but they've gone the opposite way.
I do like the new stuff as well.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Kuban back there, of course, as well. What impact are the coaches going to play today?
I mean, when it comes to Kuban, he knows this boy so well. He knows exactly how he needs to handle in this kind of situation. I don't think he really needs to do all that much, to be honest. Remind of the fundamental things the North like to do, their tendencies, stuff like that. For the rest of it, these guys love this kind of situation. There's nothing that he really needs to add to it.
Okay, I'm hearing that the walk-ins are ready. So, Torrent Arena, blow the roof off.
After years in the shadow of Astralis, the intelligence of MSL no longer must work with the scraps from their table. North are a team stacked with star talents of their own. Inconsistent in placings and results. Their depth makes them potentially a pool of quicksand for any opponent. Config's confidence is backed up with his talent, and nobody will count them out. Welcome on stage, North. major champions 3 years ago, Virtus.Pro have always returned from dips in form to reach championship status. But never before have things been this dire for Poland's finest. The sneaky Snacks must be at his elusive best if VP is to turn heads in their native Poland. And legends like Neo and Taz are not ready to go quietly into retirement just yet. Remember the plow. Welcome on stage, Virtus.Pro.
There we go, then Virtus.Pro in the house, as if you didn't know already, in their special Polish legend shirts for Virtus.Pro as well. North heading off to their box, as well as the two teams will get themselves settled and ready. We'll talk about the two teams with our analyst members this morning. And we've got Sponge and Natu with us. Sponge, it's a great feeling for them heading into that booth right now, but they need to kind of block it out and just focus now.
They definitely have no problem blocking it out. And actually, it's maybe even better if they let it in, you know, because these guys...
Can we get this windows open?
Yeah. We always talk about...
Take the back panels off.
I remember Katowice in 2014, right? Yeah. I remember I was there, and that was nuts. That experience of having that crowd cheering for them that loudly was insane. And, you know, them having that is like they have the coach. So it'd be the 7th member, right? And the way I referenced it back then was like a spirit bomb from Dragon Ball Z. You know, they're grabbing all that power, and then they just unleash it, right?
I like it. Good,
and I think that they thrive off of this, whereas the younger guys from North, I don't think they're going to be intimidated. If you followed Config on Twitter, you can see that he really
definitely should, by the way.
Yeah, it's an entertaining kind of bloke. He's my kind of guy.
Taz's favourite guy?
Yeah, no, they're friends. They're friends. But in a matchup like this, you know, this is where even if you thought that North are better on paper or of recent form, you lean towards VP because this is their home, this is their big stage players, and this is where they thrive.
North obviously going through the lineup right now. They have one of the most experienced players in history of the majors. Cajun B's played in every single one of the few players that hasn't won one that's played in all of them as well. He's going to be really important today, and he seems to be in good form.
Yeah, he is, and he is the kind of a mobile operator that the team needs. You know, on a map like say Mirage, you know, he's all over the place. He can be sometimes with the apps, a palace, play on stairs. That's what you need from your operator, to be the one that dictates the game. Even if you have individuals like Config who like to be the aggressor, they like to be the guy who's always there up front as the first man in, but then there's moments in time when you want to kind of switch up the pace a little bit and have the operator dictate the place.
The thing with Cajun, I think, is he's not a combat AWPer. He doesn't have the same depth as like a Device or a Henny or a Fallen, for example. But as Natu's saying, he is like the backbone of the team, right? If you can move your AWP around, if MSL can move that piece around, or Cajun has the ideas of where he wants to be and when, and he's finding one frag as an opening on either side, the CT or the T, that's a huge, a huge step in the right direction. And it's not something that a lot of people have. They don't know when they need to position themselves. If your AWPer knows what he wants to do as an in-game leader, it's fantastic. You don't have to tell him. That's something that is taken off of your plate. You have someone who's assertive in your team.
If they've had a disappointment at the other end of the scale, it's been Magic's boy, who hasn't quite had the heights that he had at E-League.
Yeah, I mean, then again, sometimes doesn't need to happen necessarily. It's also they've been switching things up a little bit. You know, he gets those very nice roles of like jumping the B apps and CT, for example, just enjoying the action from a spectator's point of view. And obviously, on going down the stretch of the tournament, you definitely do want to see him get into the action, and he has the capacity of delivering in numbers. So I think more than anything, you know, we know that he's got it. As long as Config and Cajun B can be up there and just maintain what they've done so far, as has AZ. If you add Magics to the mix, then things, you know, sky's the limit.
Go through the Polish side right now. You saw Snacks briefly on your screen. He overtook Flusher during the group stage as the leading man on HLTV's ratings across all majors, which is a decent achievement, but I think that might be a little bit of Flusher dropping off as well,
yep.
With no disrespect to him. But Snacks is top of the board right now, plus 323 KD difference over all majors.
It's quite nice, isn't it? You know, he's definitely up there for the debate of being on the Mount Rushmore of Counter-Strike, I suppose. He's one of these players, right, who was able to... We speak about VP being able to reinvent the wheel in the way that they approach the game. He kind of does the same thing with his gameplay. Yeah. At the moment, you know, he's doing the in-game leading. He's still being very sneaky around those smokes. He's still very proficient with the AWP when he needs to pick it up. But he's just... the way that he approaches the game, he always comes up with new little moves, new little ways to find space and find frags, and that's what you want. You want someone who's constantly looking and addressing the way they play the game, because it's very interesting to watch, at least from my perspective.
It's a lot of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, versatile. I think the prototype of a versatile Counter-Strike player can do so many things so effectively. It's insanity for me to be watching, you know. Give him any kind of a situation, he'll find a way to figure things out. You know, that's something that you just have to admire of a player, especially in a high pressure situation. You know, you'll never see him being clunky or like kind of, you know, off pace or whatever. Every single time he'll find a way.
On one hand, we've got MSL. We know how good he is as an in-game leader. Not the maddest fragger on the team, of course, but he plays that kind of more traditional in-game leading role. Whereas Snacks, also in-game leading now, and Taz said the other day, his calling is absolutely on point right now as far as their team is concerned. That's an incredible achievement with what he does in the game.
There's some weird things, right? If you're an in-game leader who is understanding what all your teammates are doing and you have like a really good flow going, you actually can play better when you're the in-game leader. I know that sounds weird because we mostly say that in-game leaders have a rougher time, but if everything is going smooth and you're reading the game, you're in the matrix, so to speak, when you make a call, everything is perfect and you're always in the right position. And not only that, you can kind of put yourself in the good spots as the in-game leader.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've made the point before, Natu, that Carrigan is one of those that you really enjoy watching as an in-game leader because he leads the line. Yeah. He's the one that says, okay, we're going B, on my mark, we're going. And he's first in, right? So, and you made the point that actually that stops any hesitation or you know, gets them in. He might die, but at least they've gone in at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, setting the pace, I think, it's one of the major factors. I've always said that you don't have to be necessarily the world's best in-game leader. You don't have to have the best possible call every single time. But as long as you have everyone committed to the cause in every single situation, they're coming in with the right timings, no one's hesitating in any situation, things can really work. And I think that's one of the cases here with Virtus.Pro as well. I don't think probably Snacks will have like the best possible call every single time, but as long as everyone's in there and coming along, things can work with this kind of a team.
One of the players that has stepped up and perhaps a little unusually in the team is Pasha. He's having a good tournament.
Yeah, it's unusual because when you watch the way that Pasha can approach the game, sometimes you question how it works. But when it works, it looks amazing, right? And I don't mean that in any disrespectful way. It's like Pasha isn't playing the modern-day version of Counter-Strike the same way that other people are. He's playing his version of Counter-Strike. And when the kills are there, he's going to make them. And he's been very flashy with the AWP. He's had a lot of impact. You know, he's getting these 3-4K rounds that are, you know, on very important money situations. You know, he's turning the tide in that regard. So for me, Pasha he has to be up there. You know, he has to be in the top 3 fragging consistently for Virtus.Pro to be looking strong.
He's been an MVP at a major, right? So
it's pretty nice.
He's got it. But I mean, I made this reference before. He's kind of a transformer. You know, CS map sometimes, you know, it's a bit clunky, but fair enough. He makes it work. He makes it work, and that's all that matters in the end of the day. Only thing I would say, stay away from the nades, would you? Just, you know, there's still a bunch of situations where in a one-on-one, he takes out the nade, he throws it, you know, he kind of gets iffy. Yeah, we did. Where instead he could have just taken the fight, you know, and would have probably even won that fight. So, but still, overall, I mean, so far this tournament, it's definitely been a plus for Pasha.
Yep. What are the keys to victory for both teams? Let's start with you, Sponge. You take North.
We have to look at the matchup specific, right, of the way that Mirage game went, because that's going to set the tone coming into this one. And I think that game was very weird in the way that it was addressed, because North are very... They cookie cutter in their approach to their game. That's the way I like in-game leading, is the way that MSL does it, is they want to establish control of one part of the map. On Mirage, it was mid. And from there, they're going to go from there, and he's going to call his fakes and his other strategies, and he's pacing off of that once that happens. They need to make that happen. And we've already seen that VP know how to counter that. They countered them on Mirage with that mid control, the late flashes coming out, making their life difficult. So I think for North, a small adjustment to whatever their early game plan is to account for any counter strats or moves that might be in place from VP, and then they can get their pacing going, because once you get that first gun round down and you get that second one, which is either a fake or an adaptation, the ball gets rolling, and as in-game leader, that's when you start to feel it, and that's when I see MSL actually getting into the game, and he's having a good impact. So getting that first gun round.
Natu for keys to victory for Virtus.Pro?
For Virtus.Pro, it has to be that aggression they've showcased in pretty much all the games, as against North, the same they had on every single map, basically. But then also, once they've established that, that utilize that kind of the seed you've planted in your opponent's head, where you're going to be aggressive a lot of the time, that's going to slow your opposition down. That gives you much more wiggle room. You can keep on your nades for a longer time, and that makes it that much harder for the T's to be making plays in late round situations. And they got to be, I think, better in the terms of not dying so much in anti-ecos, because they've lost in a lot of situations. They've even lost against anti-ecos, but coming down to the situation where they had only 2 alive and then made things a lot worse for them when it came to the first weapon round, and then they'd be in an economic blunder throughout the half. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
They've played 4 times against each other since Z-League at the start of the year, and North have won all 4.
Pretty damning, right?
Yeah,
but when we look,
they have that in the back of their mind that they did lose to North at this stage at E-League. So it's kind of like, how much does that play on their mind, do you think, as they head into this? Have you got any memories from that? Is it revenge? What is it on their mind?
I don't think it really matters, to be honest with you. You look into the past, and with these 2 teams, it feels like an eternity ago, right? They've both gone very, very different paths ever since. So I don't think it really matters. It's a clean slate. They know they can beat North. In that game previously in the tournament, it was all for grabs. It was all there for VP just to grab. But it came down to so many tiny little situations, a lot of 2-on-2s to 3-on-3s after plan situations that could have just swung it in the way of VP.
Yeah, I wanted to build on that point, actually. Like, the teams, when they were getting entry frags, that didn't mean they were winning the rounds, which is, like, should be unusual, right? If you're getting the entry frag and then you're playing percentage Counter-Strike, you should be converting a lot more of those. But here it was, they were getting entry frags or getting opening kills on the CT side, but it was just chaos because, like, it was just executes galore on that Mirage game from VP. They were just executing on the A bomb site. It wasn't really like they were having a lot of dominance over the map, and they were just forcing fights against North, and that's going to work, but playing after plant situations time and time again, eventually you're going to lose one. Eventually they're going to play the retake properly. And you heard in the post-game interview from Magix when we were speaking to him that when they were set up for executes, they knew exactly what they wanted to do. They just had blunders with communication. So if that wasn't there for them in this matchup, maybe it could have been an even bigger win for North earlier on. And that's something that's scary for VP, but they go into a different gear right now. That's the thing which I'm most excited about. Is we saw VP come out on train with that really fast aggression against Cloud9. And I think that's what they're going to do again here, because that helps them. Once you get that going, once you set that pace and everyone's in the game and hitting their shots, it's much easier to, I think, taper down from there. If you start slow and you get shut out, it's harder to get into the game.
The crowd are going to help with that, aren't they?
I hope so.
I mean, you'd imagine if they can get the plow going early on.
I don't know how much you can hear in those booths, but hopefully the crowd can get through to VP and, really send their energy, which is, I think, going to be their goal.
Yeah, no, you can definitely hear the crowd in those booths.
Yeah, no, you feel it.
Yeah, when they shout, it's the
you feel the
rumble,
bass.
it's the bass and what have you that comes through.
And that gives you enough of a kick.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get a kick out of that. You can see the teams are just starting to crowd around each other, which means we're headed towards the veto. So let's turn our attention to the veto. Where's this going?
Well, I think that North have to ban Train, right?
Yeah, they do. And then you'd imagine Virtus.Pro would ban Cash. You'd imagine, but they played it before in this tournament. I have this feeling that I've seen it before, that when they've left it open in this kind of situation where they've played in a group stage, but thinking of North not being a super good Cash team, they used to back when they were Dignitas, they actually they like to go on Cash, but ever since they've lost faith on it. So that's kind of the interesting part.
They played it online in ESL Pro League in Europe, which they got battered on.
I think the safe vetoes, like yesterday, Yanko and I theorized about that whole SK Australis thing for ages, and then it was just the way it was meant to be, right? So let's pretend let's just pretend that the bans are going to go the way I have to.
Mind game your own analysts.
We don't want to confuse ourselves here, but the real key here is the map pool, the strengths that the maps that each other are going to pick are like strengths for each other, right? It's that they both kind of enjoy the same maps. Like, so Nuke would be decent for both teams.
Mirage also.
Yep, maybe even not Overpass. What's the one I'm thinking of here?
Cobble?
Cobble is quite good for both, or at least historically it was quite good for both, so that one could come up as definitely a third map. I just think that whatever gets picked here, it's maps that both teams like. I don't think anyone's going to really pull anything out
unless you go risky, you go Inferno.
Or the Overpass could be a little bit of risk for both teams, right? And that's what level of prep will they have done. How much of a risk do they want to take in that regard? The Inferno one, I think, is like, everyone's looking decent on Inferno now. Just like, obviously the key factor is getting the pistol rounds, getting the first gun round, making sure you have enough money to play the CT side. Like, there's all this, but everybody has kind of still a different take on Inferno, which is one of the most exciting things. There's the train ban, as expected.
We'll see if we get a curveball or not.
Do you expect the nuke ban?
Cache.
Cache, sorry.
Yeah, Nuke's probably going to be a pick from North, I would say. Oh, they're really thinking about it. Just letting us have some.
They're VP after all, so anything goes. But yeah, I think that Inferno is the kind of map where VP also is traditionally has been very good on as well, even though we haven't really seen them much of them. So.
I think Bjarni seems more concerned with stuff that's going on in the crowd.
Yeah, maybe he's seen his mum or someone. Someone's out there.
Maybe.
They're looking across at each other.
They're like, guys, come on, pick.
Just, it's your turn, dude. Everyone's having a good chuckle.
Yeah.
The mind games have already started.
Oh, maybe we're having a few dramas here. All right, well, that was fun.
Okay, well, the North are just waiting for the band to come in from Virtus.Pro. They're enjoying themselves. Taz is enjoying himself. You need to ban, mate.
Early mind games? This is comical.
So it's a stare down now. It's a stare down now.
Yeah, kind of. But it's also like the suspense is killing me. Can we just get the ban?
Click the button.
All right, we need to derail this real quick. let's talk about something else, because this is going to be a ways off. That ban was expected, right? Why is that ban expected? It's not a map that North plays. There you go.
Yep.
That's the fun analysis for all of you playing at home right now. The reason, I guess, that we're floating the fact that it'll be a cash ban is because it's a risk for almost both teams in some regard, and if they feel comfortable going into this map pool, they don't need to prepare any gambits going into it. You just go with what you consider your strengths.
I don't think VP are in that position where they would need to gamble with that either.
No, I agree. I definitely agree with that sentiment.
So you don't want to derail yourself by leaving it open.
We've seen a bit of that, haven't we? Like teams
leaving
leaving maps open, and we just assume that they would not leave open.
Especially in the group stage, right?
Or seem a bit
insanity
odd.
In the group stage.
I mean, group stage makes a certain bit of sense because you want to test teams, don't you? But
sure.
But at this stage, I mean, for instance, you look back at the Immortals big game yesterday. Yes, it worked out at the end, but it didn't seem very logical at the time. So the teams obviously know something we don't, and they've played it in a certain way, and they believe that they've got a game plan for it.
That's the one thing we don't get to see, is that because these teams practice each other quite often, and they know certain things about the teams through the practices. Obviously, never applies 100% to these kind of games. That goes without saying. We've seen that in the past. But still, it does add a bit of a twist to it when you do play against each other, much more than we know of.
Mm-hmm. I think like if we're talking about crazy vetoes, we were just mentioning it before when in the break, is how did Vega versus VP end up on Nuke?
We've had a ban.
There we go. Overpass. Okay.
Well, they've gone down what I said.
So that means
left catch open.
It might open that up for North to pick it, but at the same time, it's such a sporadic map, right?
So they did go Cobble.
Coming in earlier.
We did have a brief discussion on the fact that
traditional and good maps for them.
Are okay. Yeah, VP are going to go with Nuke.
And then now you probably expect the cash ban coming out from VP, right?
Yeah.
Unless they're worried about Inferno. Like they played it against Fnatic, right? Who is a team who you would consider to be somewhat decent on cash anyway, right? Okay, there it is. It's gone.
The sanity has resumed.
Yep. And then they get to pick between Inferno and Mirage. Well, you beat them on Mirage the other day, but it was a very close game that could have gone either way. And they're happy to go with Mirage again. So it's the 3 maps we thought. To some degree,
just a little bit,
but maybe
absolutely different. Yeah. I think Cobble would have probably been the third map. Yeah,
that makes sense. I'm happy with that. So I think Cobblestone. We need to look at the main points here, which is obviously Snacks has a lot of dominance in that drop room on the T side. He likes to take that area of the map. But I think if you look towards VP and what they do well is those contact players over towards A long. They love a bit of a 4-man walk up there. They have the B executes. They're doing them from T spawn now. They have them in the bank. We saw a really cool execute come out from them in Cologne. Where they did all the smokes and they jumped down, they pushed up like lane and back around into the site like that because they saved a bunch of weapons like SMGs and stuff. So they have some cool strats up their sleeve that we have been seeing slowly coming out of them. But that's probably not the win condition, right? It's the thing with VP is it's making sure people have the buzzword confidence to hit their shots because the strats are definitely there. Just what mind frame are they in and what condition?
And for North, Cobble is one of the traditional maps for them all the way back to the times when they were called Dignitas. I've always been a great fan of how they've been able to be like on the T side, their defaults, the way they're like a wave that flushes your CT all the way back to the CT spawn. But they still are pretty time effective, if you will, still leaving themselves enough time to be able to then diverse towards the B bomb side too. But that's a good thing. Once they establish that kind of a play style, then it kind of gives you the opportunities to go for the cheeky B execute straight away, or just go for the contact plays, because I think this team can really be diverse in the sense of MSL having that great tactical approach, but then you have those individuals, configs, everyone on that server who can just go in, pop flash into B, and they'll just trade off effectively and win the fights to make it a man advantage situation.
Do you feel like, though, Cobble is a map that Virtus.Pro can win?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So
but
the whole
it seems
series,
to be okay in the way that it's shaken out in terms of the map vetoes.
the map pool in my
It
mind
was
is
always going to be pretty even, right?
Yeah.
it's a 50-50 in the map pool the whole way, right? It's maps that both teams like to play, which is good. That means we get an exciting game in Counter-Strike. It's not like we just have 2 blowouts and then the third one being close. We should get close maps the whole way through.
Yeah.
A 2-0 VP is just as likely as a 2-0 North.
Okay, all right, so this could go any of the 3 ways completely. Let's find out what the thoughts are of the coaches who are with Sir Scoots on the main stage.
Thank you very much, Red Eye. Yes, I have the 2 coaches for this last quarterfinal. We're going to start on the north side. We've got Rugga here. Not a stranger to competition yourself. Ex-Counter-Strike Source Pro, then Global Offensive Pro. You've actually played the Golden 5. Now you're here coaching North against the new Golden 5. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty confident. We know we have a good game plan going into the match, and we always have close games, so I think it's going to be down to who has the momentum and the individual plays today.
On the other side of the coin, probably everybody in the building knows who this is. One of the original Golden 5, the man himself, Cuban. Obviously a very historic run yourself with Virtus.Pro. Several different team names along the way, obviously. You're now the coach of the team. You were not at their first major win as a coach. Now you're here at home, behind your boys. How are you feeling today?
I've been playing for so many years competitively with my current teammates, and but this game is going to be the biggest challenge of my life, so I'm looking forward to the game, and I'm very, very happy that we can be here to play in front of Polish crowd.
Can we call them a new Golden 5? Do we need a new name for them?
I don't think so. We are still the same team.
All right, perfect. Now let's get into this friendly banter stuff. Obviously, Taz and Config have been going at each other for quite a while. Taz wants everyone to call him the Queen of Dragons, Daenerys Targaryen. Config says, no, I'm Jon Snow, I'm King of the North. So what are you two in that equation?
I'm just a fanboy.
Just a fanboy. Are you anyone in Game of Thrones?
Excuse me?
Who are you in the Game of Thrones world?
I don't watch series.
Okay, fair enough. One more question. The map is going to possibly come down to Mirage. You played a very close match on Mirage, 16-14. That could be the decider. How are you both feeling about that being possibly the one?
I think we have always had good matches against them, and normally I think we win 8 out of 10 against them on Mirage. So the whole picking the deciding map was clear for us. We wanted Mirage instead of Inferno, and I think they predicted that as well.
And we are so much motivated for the game, and we are aiming for 2-0.
All right, gentlemen, shake hands, do some battle. Oh, wait, stand by.
Nie wiem jak wy, ale ja mam ciary, jak myślę o tym meczu. Wiem, że długo czekaliście na ten moment. Pokażemy na pewno, na co nas stać, i udowodnimy, że jesteśmy najlepszą drużyną na świecie.
That's it, Red Eye. Back to you.
And coaches are ready as well. Thank you very much, Scoots. I think if you want the Game of Thrones references, Rugga's probably Littlefinger and Cuban's Tyrion Lannister, I think, in this particular matchup. But nevertheless, we're going to get some Counter-Strike under the way rather than some medieval battles. It is going to be a battle between these two. They've always played close matches. Sponge, were you expecting no difference here?
Yeah, it's going to be much of the same, I hope. You know, this is the thing which the win condition for either team, like Rugga said, is probably going to be those clutch, those big plays, right? And I hate to say that because it's such a cliche way to look at Counter-Strike, but they both play fundamentally sound versions of Counter-Strike, at least in the way they approach it strategically. I think, VP are more all-in their strat-heavy. They have a bit more diversity, whereas I think the guys from North, they like to have a game plan, and if that game plan gets derailed and VP can get in their heads, that's when they're going to have a rough time.
That's where the crowd comes in again.
I was going to say this is going to be a brawl. I think that's the cool thing about it. We already saw. I think we got a bit of example of that in a group stage game between these two teams. I think it's going to be much more of the same, and it's going to be even better, considering we're going to be in an arena and the crowd is going to be going nuts. But yeah, it's going to come down to the clutch. It's going to come down to individuals performing in the right moments that would then derail the economy from one team, and they'll probably get into the groove of things. But this one is going to be very, very tough to even predict on which way it's going.
All right, well, very quickly, I'm going to do that with you both now. Predictions.
I think I just have to pander to the crowd and say VP.
I like that. And?
VP.
We have no dissenters here on the desk. The crowd will be pleased to know it's a clean sweep for Virtus.Pro. Let's head over to our commentary team for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, raise the roof for Anders and Semler.
Thank you very much, Paul. Let's get this show underway. What an amazing crowd this is. I can't believe it.
This is a dream come true, Anders. This is the height of any player's or commentator's career to play in a hall like this, filled with fans like these. You just made it. Thank you so much, everybody. This is fantastic. I've already got the jitters. I've already got the adrenaline. It's just been, 20 minutes of sitting here with these amazing guys. This is awesome.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Just a quarterfinals, Virtus.Pro on the stage, North is here as well. I can't believe that we're about to get into the game. It's a best of 3 as well. Oh, this is the selling point. This is why you have to go to esports events in the future. This is why you've got to come and experience the energy that's in this stadium. It's electrifying. And right now the teams are getting ready, about to go into it. Cobblestone, the first map.
Cobble, the first map, North getting their pick, but then again you have Virtus.Pro with Nuke coming up next, and we all know what VP are capable of on that map. And so, Anders, this could go either way. Both of these teams have done their homework. They are prepared, and Virtus.Pro, they certainly have the home crowd advantage here. This is amazing.
Never in my life have I seen anything like this. Unbelievable.
It's just chills, man. It's chills. I can't wait until we actually get into the game. VP start winning some rounds, and this is going to get so hectic here. But North are certainly going to be looking to do some damage. They've got the first pick. They took that advantage, and so they get to set the pace. They get to set the tone here in this quarterfinal. There are 2 semifinals coming up at the end of the day, and so the winner of this team will be playing in the last best of 3 tonight for a spot in the finals. And you got to, Virtus.Pro, this has got to be the dream for them. Yes, it is the dream for North, but right now, VP, they have to make it.
It has to be just a little bit intimidating if you're North in that booth. It's going to feel increasingly smaller, and the game is not even live yet. I shudder to imagine what it must be like if VP get off to a good start. That has to be the dream for North right now, is to stop Virtus.Pro in the beginning.
Yes.
If they cannot do that, then God help them. Well, this is already out of control, and we're not even in the game yet.
It's going to be all about silencing the fans, right? And that's what we've said. Whenever you are playing in a home turf kind of arena where all the fans are there, whether it be the French ESWC or the Swedes at DreamHack, you need to do some damage early and keep that crowd under control if you are North, because otherwise things are going to get out of hand, and you're going to be dealing with an avalanche coming at you, not only in the server, but out.
How do you keep your nerves under control in an environment like this? They have tactical timeouts, sure, but everybody right now is going to be feeling it. And that kind of energy, if you can't control it, can also be very dangerous. So, I don't know. It's going to be very exciting. We're going to get to learn a lot about these 10 players here today, and everyone is going to get their money's worth. That is for damn sure. Virtus.Pro and North, they are sitting down. They're almost ready for it. Just waiting for the final countdown, and then we should be good to go.
Yes, we will be. North, they have been ready for a little bit. They got the huddle out of the way very early on. And really, they need to just get as focused as possible. VP, they're sitting down. They're getting ready to get into this. All 10 players are in the server. Now it's just a matter of voting for the go. And we will be getting into the pistol round here. The vote has begun as well. But a few deep breaths here for both of these teams. I think they need to kind of get their heads in the game here. There is a lot of pressure on North as well. They have finally made it. They are legends. They made top 8 at E-League, but they failed to get the result they were looking for there. Now's their second chance with this roster, with this lineup. We have to see if they're going to be able to take down the Polish powerhouse here live in Krakow.
Seconds away. I don't think we've ever in esports had a crowd like this.
So sick.
Just enjoy it, ladies and gentlemen. Absorb the atmosphere. Get a feel for it. We are in the final stages. There's just a couple of seconds left and we should be headed into the game.
I don't think we need crowd mics here, man. Every mic in this place is going to be picking them up. Right through ours as well, so we'll see how that goes. But the countdown has begun. We are 30 seconds away from the pistol round and seeing just what is going to happen here in this game. Virtus.Pro looks like they'll be starting on the CT side. North will get to set the pace on the T side. You can be sure that MSL's got something up his sleeve here for the Polish team.
And that'll be very interesting to see how many risks are they willing to take. Are we going to see a slow and measured North to try and sort of control the energy and get a bit slow? Or is it going to be right off the gates? Is the madness going to continue from the beginning?
I think they have to be juggernauts, Anders. It's going to just be a clash running straight into each other.
Well, we're about to find out. The countdown has already run out. The match is starting. Krakow, are you ready? Then let's get this game underway. North and Virtus.Pro for a best-of-3 quarterfinals. Here it comes.
Let's go, let's go, let's go! Sick. All right, utility. Neo will be going for the kit, as per usual for Virtus.Pro, with the double flashes. Lots of Kevlar and lots of Kevlar on North as well. MSL with the smoke. And a Tech 9 on Cajun B, so we do have the raid boss strat in play. But instead of rotating over towards the B site, it looks like they may be setting a trap over here North. They might be heading towards that A site, and that might be effective because Vegas is going to try to make some noise. He needs to find the first headshot, but Viali will drop him.
That was a big part of that strategy. Now that arm, that distraction over at drop is gone. Instead, they're heading to the A-bomb site and Config trying to get the quick kill here on Snacks if he can. And he's going to be able to do that. That's a big comeback into the round and still a 4-on-4. The bomb is going to be going down. Virtus.Pro now going to attempt to retake, and this won't be easy. A lot is going to ride on that big flank that's coming through from Pasha himself, looking for the shot on Config with the USP. There's the headshot, taking him down, and now they've cracked it open. Pasha looking for a second fight against Cajun B right around the corner, and it will be Neo and Bialy. AC alone, and Virtus.Pro swarming him, rushing him down. He's just got the Glock, and he's being overrun, and Virtus.Pro going to be able to win the round, picking up the first pistol.
Hazy getting a taste of the Tech 9 there. Pasha letting them know there's nowhere to run or hide. Not here, not on home turf. One round now on the board for Virtus.Pro, and they win the pistol. They look very clean as well, Anders. They're the ones who are hitting the headshots here. You'd expect just a few more easy kills there for North, but it just didn't go their way whatsoever. Missing shots and looking just a little sloppy, so we'll see if they can tighten up their game. They got the bomb plant, and so it's going to be that hard eco going into the next round.
It's a very good strategy pulled out of North. It definitely had some thought put into it, and you could have tell that if the drop player could have stayed alive a bit longer, maybe there would have been a way to actually cause enough of a distraction for the A push to work completely. But ultimately, it's down to mostly SMGs on the Virtus.Pro side, and no armor invested in for North here, so they're going to be buying in the next round, obviously with the bomb plant, and that's going to be a good buy. It should be. See what Virtus.Pro can bring us here. The first task at hand is not losing any rifles in this round. Just keep it cool.
Exactly, and this is all about North. Just crossing their fingers and hoping that they're going to be able to get the bomb plant here. But 4 players stacked up on the B side for Virtus.Pro. Standard stuff from them. Having confidence and Snacks to hold solo on a Neo. Wow, takes a bullet to the face immediately. But Pasha's there to get 2 kills before he gets overwhelmed by Cajun.
And somehow Neo is still alive. I don't even know how. He should have been dead long ago, but they're going to be able to clean it up. Great teamwork out of Virtus.Pro.
And Neo saves the M4. Makes it over there just in the nick of time. Trade the SMG for the M4 any day of the week. You'll be able to hand that back over to Pasha if you want in the next round. And so they maintain just a little bit more on their economy here. That is going to be so important for VP. Let's take a look at North, though. No second bomb plant. And so they will be just a little light on the grenades. And we'll have to see what MSL has in store for us when he is somewhat limited with the Molotovs and the flashes.
Well, third round is coming up here. And with this kind of a start from Virtus.Pro, North know a lot rides on this. They've got to break their backs very early on here. Don't let them build the momentum. There's a reason why we call it the Virtus Plow, and everybody who's ever watched this game will know exactly what that means. A very common spread set up from North here. Maybe anticipating some aggression from VP over at long when they have Snacks over there. He's a champion at playing exactly that position.
And a change of position here from Taz as well, backing him up instead of playing by connector. It looks like that's Bialy who'll be watching that spot. When they go for this particular strategy, it seems like Taz is going to be that rotating man. But they have gone for the peak for information over at A-Long, something that you do not see CT teams do a lot of these days. It's kind of faded out of the meta, but now that's a lot of information for VP to go off of. Not seeing anybody. It might prompt the rotation over towards the B site.
Oh, there's a good opening there. Config going to be able to take the kill, taking down Snacks. Always great if you can take him out of the game, and especially over at that position. Spray comes in, AZ with a big double kill. Bialy trying to pick it back, and he's at least going to be able to take down the kill on AZ, but he's also alone in a 1-on-3 here. He has a bit of time before the bomb goes down, but it's an almost impossible clutch here.
Yeah, exactly, because they've already got connector blocked off with 2 players. So North, they've done everything right, and the big double kill from AZ, that pretty much snuffed the round for Virtus.Pro. Perfect spray control from him. That's what we expect to see from the young Danish gun, although he is more of a veteran than he used to be. We can't really say that he's a greenhorn anymore.
First big round coming in from North already in the third, turning it around. That's great news for the Danish team, and they're going to be excited about that. Not letting the pressure get to them, not letting the sheer volume of the audience in here get too close.
I think here we have to see the half-buy from VP. They need to be able to just accept that they need to get a few rounds on the CT side before switching over to T side. And so I would like to see just a half-buy from them exactly, managing their economy. And so Taz, he stays up at 4,000. We'll have an AWP in play for the next round here for VP. I like this a lot from VP. It would have been very risky business to go for the force buy in this situation.
Snacks holding close with a deagle. Smart move by North, just making sure that he's not going to be able to put that to use. He's one of those players that absolutely can. Pash just taking a bit of damage early on, but this should be North's chance to just equalize the score. Oh, he's hiding right at the edge of the smoke. Config doesn't know it. Snacks trying to sneak up behind him. Config not really aware of what's going on yet. This could be a lost AK very quick, and the timing here is favoring Snacks. And is he really going to go for the knife? Oh my God! He takes down Config with a knife in the quarterfinals with everything on the line. It will be Bialy with another kill coming through. AC trying to fight it back, but he goes down to Bialy. Mother of God, and Snacks to take down Cajun B. The Dragon of Krakow is here, taking down North already.
Oh, it's so fitting that it happens versus Config as well. Config, no stranger to the knife. He loves to get the shake in if he can. But Snacks, that is, not only is it great to get the $1,500 in an eco round, but this is going to be so demoralizing for North. Couldn't have been cooler. Couldn't have been any smoother than that. And what a round for VP. The tension you could tell in Pasha's face, but they get it done. It's 3-1, and it's North now who are going for the force buy. Double AK, 3 pistols.
Let's be clear, if that fails, if he messes up the knife, if Config turns around for the kill instead, that would hurt Virtus.Pro so badly. An incredible risk, and unbelievably it works out. Let's see what the Danes could do here. They've still got a couple of AKs and some pistols and armor picked up here, so it isn't all lost yet. Good counter grenades coming out as well from Virtus.Pro. Trying to see if they can hold MSL back in the drop here.
AZ and Magisk are the ones who've been tagged up. But that smoke is going to clear, and we're at a minute mark. But they still have 4 in play. Exactly. Fresh smoke goes down a block off drop. And slowly but surely North are inching their way forward. What they need here is to control the backup plateau. But what is this? Neo right for the smoke. He hunts down MSL. MSL, no idea what's going on. And now AZ, the pressure is on for him to find the opening frag.
Well, he's quick out the gate, but couldn't check the corner. Bialy will eventually go down now. Magisk up on the plateau. No real pressure here for VP to fight him. They could just wait until he's closer to the bomb site. It's a 2-on-4 after all. And he's going to go down to Neo, who's looking for the triple kill. Config tapping away this Eagle. Pasha to take him down at the end. Turning heavily in Virtus.Pro's favor here, a 4-1 lead. And now the money is broken for the North players. Instead, Virtus.Pro getting a chance to breathe. And
this is really going to be a test, I think, not only for North and their individual players, but for MSL and his leadership. Is he going to be able to get his team to ignore a crowd like this, where the roll of thunder from the stamping feet shouts out every time VP pick up a win? That is so difficult to deal with. And so North, not known for their mental fortitude, they've given up games that they should have won in the past when things went against them. Now, really, everything is stacked in VP's favor.
They come flying through the smoke into drop right in the face of the alley. They're going to be able to run him down, but then comes the complete cleanup there. Pasha not missing much, and they only lose the one player. That's great news. I like the style from North, though. I think that was fairly aggressive, and, you know, jumping with the smoke like that, definitely an interesting idea. So not at all a bad attempt, I think, from the Danish side. 5-1 are moving into the 7th round.
And the buy coming in once again, but again, limited in their options. They don't have the AWP in play if they wanted it over on North side of things, and they are lacking the Molotovs that will be key to check certain positions in Plateau and A long, and so we have to see. North, seems like they might be done with the B side right now, Anders. It's straight into underpass, the change of pace, and Taz just barely making it around the corner in time.
Oh, he could have been run over already. Now come the counter flashbangs as well. So much time left. MSL turning up the pace here against Virtus.Pro, saying, listen, we can control this match as well. Now they just need to follow through, get that one opening kill. Instead, Snacks, oh, he goes down. There was a big opportunity there. He's going to be dropped instead, so looking really good for North at the moment. 4 versus 5. They've got the bomb plant down, and they've got Virtus.Pro locked in. This is really smart play.
And VP, the wise call, backing off to save their guns, just reset the round. You still have 2 guys, you have near full nades. The AWP in play on Pasha, just save. A 4v5 retake on the A site would be a slaughterhouse. And you're right, Snacks, I mean, Snacks was on a timer. AZ was coming up behind him. He only had like a couple seconds left. I mean, obviously Snacks has no idea that AZ's gonna be there, but tried to make the play happen. If he could have picked up 1 kill, that might have sparked VP to try and make the retake, but this is fine. It's a reset on VP's side. They are in the lead, 5-1. They can afford to give up a round without too much of a fight.
It's very, very strong call coming out of MSL. Not easy to make that kind of call. There's a lot of things that could go horribly wrong with that kind of a rush, but they hit everything perfect. So well done on him, and you can see he's so focused right now, trying to call his team back into this game. 5-2. It might not seem like that much of a gap. It's more about the momentum. It's more about the overall energy in this arena. You've got to shut it down somehow if you're North. If you can at all, then you've got to do it early.
Well, this is a way to change things up, Anders. Tapping into some of that bank, 7.5K spent by Snacks this round. Getting fully equipped with a second AWP here for Virtus.Pro. Pasha saved his. And so we'll see where Snacks decides to take that fight. He may be going aggressive yet again, and this really is Snacks' stomping ground. He literally stomps people into the ground. Over here, off, shotgun. He knows how to put the pressure on. But AZ as well, look at this. Nearly to the top of ramp already.
This is so far that he's managed to sneak in. Should catch Virtus.Pro off guard. He almost takes down Taz, but now the game is up. They know, and they're trying to play around it as much as they can. He's going to end up going down to the alley, but the rest of the push is coming into the B-bomb side. Neo's getting a refrag there on MSL. It's still a 4 versus 3, and the bomb is dropped. Oh no.
It's dropped in the open flat. I mean, but Cajun B and Config, the last two alive here for North. Neo has done a fantastic job picking up 2 frags, and now VP, they know that they can take their time. They can wait for the bomb plant, exactly. Bialy's gonna hear it, he's gonna be able to deny it! What is going on, Config? Your teammate, he needs you! 1v2. Snacks and Taz now closing in. And this is all on Config, peeking with the flash, spots out the info. Will he find the headshot? You can't face him. With the AK, he's far too dangerous. And he's looking for the angle on Taz. All Taz needs to do is stand up, and there's the one. Config 1v1. Gets the smoke, but Taz pounces as soon as the smoke comes out and saves the day for VP. Well, there we go. If the clutch situation is going to start going VP's way as well as the crowd, this is going to be a hard day for North.
It's a great attempt from Config, and you have to appreciate the flashbang, then the shoulder peek that makes Virtus.Pro peek against him into the flashbang, and everything was working out quite well, but couldn't get the last kill in. So Virtus.Pro now 6-2 in their favor. We'll see what North can bring us here Config doesn't look too distraught, you know, a bit upset, but not really broken yet.
It's the smallest margins, Anders. It's the smallest margins. Taz did that perfectly, peeking behind the nade, because he knows there's going to be a split second where Config has to swap back to his AK, and that's the window he chooses for his peek, and it works out. 6-2. VP in the lead. And still somewhat decent bank on at least 2 players here for Virtus.Pro, so it's not the end of days, but now the change in the setup here for Virtus.Pro. The nade goes sailing past Magus. He counts his lucky stars. Thank you.
Well, Pasha opening up with a kill on Cajun B. That was controlling the platform here, which is always a good idea. It reduces just all of the options that MSL has when he doesn't have plateau control. So right now, he's got to be wondering, how can we get it back? The flashbang not touching Pasha, and he goes for the fight against the pre-firing AZ.
And then he repeats. Pasha knows no fear. Goes for the repeat despite getting the 2 picks. He's down at 13. He was looking for the trade opportunity there for North. Ballsy play, but now Config, he might catch Snacks. Does Snacks realize? Yes, he does. Snacks hits the shot. MSL going to be walking into his certain demise here in just a second. Unless, of course, Snacks turns away. And so MSL, 2v4, backed by Magus, and they're working their way up onto the A site, but there's still a man in place, and Neo holding connector is going to ruin their day. That drops the bomb right at his feet.
MSL had to make some kind of play, because trying to put the bomb down in a 2-on-4 is not really viable. Neo to close it out.
Neo, man, he is at the top of the scoreboard right now, Anders. 10, 4, and 3 for Virtus.Pro. That's not what you expect to see, and it's not like he's completely sucking the oxygen out either. Pasha and Bialy both at 9 frags. Right now, VP are just hitting their shots, and this is a good time for North to go for the timeout. Tactical, first one, called by the Danes.
Chanting Philip Kubski. Neo. One of the ultimate legends. Probably the best player of all time in 1.6, and his career is continuing into global offensive, and the level that he's hitting, it's an absolutely magical story. And I understand the North want to take a timeout here, just see if they can calm down. The crowd won't let them, but they're going to have to try and zone that out somehow. 7-2 at the beginning of the 10th round now. Virtus.Pro are off to a fantastic start here on Cobblestone.
The North, it looked like they wanted to try and change up the pace again. Same thing that they went for on A with the rush. They might have had Virtus.Pro cut corners, try to play out very quickly here onto B plateau, but instead now it's going to slow down into more of a set strategy here. The nades go sailing in, Config taking point. Magus finds a shot on Neo with that deagle. But Pasha not going to hit the shot, and he's gone to crossfire, nowhere to go. Bialy needed to come up big, and he fails. It's all on Snacks and Taz in a 2v4, and once again, VP, it's going to have to be the call here to back off and save. If they go for this, they're in a tight spot.
Looks like they sort of want to here. I mean, Config is hitting a high level in this game. You can tell he's come here to play as well. Going to bring the fight to Virtus.Pro. Taz trying to with a boost up. He's going to get the kill on MSL. Surely there's no way in a 2 versus 4 that they bring it back there. Low on time as well. Going to flash their way through. Magus gets a great kill there. And now Snacks has to back off instead. They tried for it. They tried to give themselves a chance, but it will be a 4th round for North here.
You see where that flash went off? Like, what? 10 centimeters short of getting around the angle. Magus full blind. Taz kills him for sure, and then you're into a 2-on-2. Sometimes that's as close as it gets, the finest of margins. But that's a 3rd round on the board for North. On T side, Cobble. VP still with 7. And Snacks saving that AWP will make a world of difference here for Virtus.Pro. They will have the money to go for the full buy once again. Right back into the double op, no less. These guys show no fear.
But we've reached the critical point of the game just because of the VP economy. There is a chance for North to turn it around if they can just win this next round. This opening from Config is mad, and you could tell they got overrun in that round. Now they need to bounce right back here. AWP on Cajun B is a very solid opera and very good at playing against other AWP players, so see if he can put some of that skill to work. Snacks aggressive down towards the middle. Otherwise, not much coming out of Virtus.Pro here. It's a very standard setup.
A bit of the catch-all approach. Taz kind of dancing back in his home turf and connector. Snacks playing solo over a danger. So they managed to make their way out into drop, and Cajun B close with the AWP. We'll see if he gets the chance to put this to use. Because Pasha is still hanging around the nade! Oh, that rung his bells. Not going to be able to peek behind the flash either. The smoke goes up just in time, and Cajun gets out pretty much scot-free, but Neo, in the meantime, is taking a bit of damage here. A little bit of pressure getting applied by Magus can drop.
So lingering around the plateau for a while really only gave them just a lot of damage. They used some of their own grenades, and not much really came out of it. Now they've left Magus can drop, and they're going to go for a similar style as to the one in the pistol, trying to see if they can cause a distraction, keep 4 players on B, while there's only one person defending the A-bomb side. But that one person is Snacks, and he's got the AWPs looking the wrong way currently. They're sneaking in. Oh, Config, this is so smart. Catching Snacks off guard. He was actually trying to hide in the corner to not make himself visible, and now Magus going to pick up the kill as well. Cajun missing the flick, but still things are looking great for North in this round. 4 on 3.
Yeah, they have brought it back here, North. And Taz remaining pretty focused on that connector area. Magus doing a fantastic job of just locking down that defense on the B site. He sold VP hook, line, and sinker. And that kind of left Snacks up. Well, Snacks might have been able to back off as well and played a bit more passively there instead of hanging around A long with nobody to watch ramp. But these are the signs of the decisions where you're convinced this is what's coming at you. They're going to be hitting this B site. There will be no fake. And sure enough, MSL's one step ahead this time. And so VP will just have to shake it off and save these 3 guns. If they save the 3, then they can actually get something going for themselves in the next round.
Yeah, very important here. The first half's already looking amazing for Virtus.Pro, so if they can keep the money flowing, if they can keep fighting,
yeah,
everything matters right now. 7-4. And North not surrendering yet. I mean, the pressure is unimaginable, and now we return to a bit of a classic as well. It's Snacks with the Mag 7 playing over at A-Long.
Yep.
If North knew, they should go somewhere else.
But that's the thing, though. They haven't really paid much attention to A-Long at all, North. The one round, it was AZ kind of working his way in, but he was more of a, exactly, a lurk. Wasn't exactly part of the main push. And so now we might see a change here where, look at this Config.
Don't do it.
So you go for the peek here, Snacks. This is the very reason why, CT, you don't go for this peek. But there's the noise. And Snacks, he knows that somebody's hanging around here, but the action is happening over on the B side right now. Cajun just waiting patiently for Pasha to overextend.
He wants that peak, but this has become very common. A lot of Orbers on the other side will look for it, and Pasha, he definitely saw that. He knows what's up. He's going to go for the re-peak anyway. Does he realize that there's still a guy there? Cajun going down, and Pasha looking for it again. AZ is weirdly trapped in the corner. There's going to be a bit of a grenade to try and see if he can get himself out of there. The smoke, and now Snacks winning the fight against Config. Don't say we didn't warn you.
Nope, nope. Snacks have to kill Pasha. You don't need to go through that smoke. He's hoping to dance right on the edge. He will get it back in position. MSL right around the corner with the AWP. He can use it. 3 players remain here for North, and they are stacked up. But Taz wins the door versus Magus, and Pasha spots on MSL right on the edge. Did he see something? He's certainly thinking about it, and MSL misses the shot. But Pasha playing it safe until MSL finds the angle. 2-man advantage, and Bialy has set the trap, and he's going to get these kills for free, but he misses it. Easy with the headshot to save his team.
A bit of an opening here, but it's still very tough. There's only 25 seconds. There's almost no chance that North can get the kills and get the bomb down. Great Molotov there, going to do a lot of damage to Taz, forcing him out behind the rock, but he just goes for the fight. And it will be Virtus.Pro picking up another round, making it 8-4 in their favor.
There's Neo, showing Bialy how it's done. Tough case for Bialy there. When you've got the 2 targets, you're trying to decide which one you want, but this really was Pasha's round. Good to see Pasha back in action here on Plateau, winning duels, feeling comfortable again with the AWP. Felt like he was in limbo for quite some time. This is what's making Virtus.Pro a world beater once again, the fact that their players are showing up, that they have hit that level once again, and Neo has chosen the perfect time to start hitting headshots left and right. 8-4, and the second tactical timeout getting called here by North.
A good time to do it as well. Right now we have, what, 3 players on 10 or more kills on the VP side, and nobody on North has cracked 10 yet. So they're down on kills, and certainly you can feel maybe some of the energy starting to run out. Not for the crowd, though.
Absolutely not. Just wait. Yeah, the hype is real, Anders. They're firing him up, they're giving him their energy, and well, North looking to take advantage. Neo with the double spray! 2 kills! Annihilates him, and Costa's there as well. Cage and Vegas, they're wondering what happens to the rest of their team.
Once you lose those first 2 entries, there's not a lot left to do at that point in time. The bomb has gone down. Cajun going to be dropped as well. And Vegas about to be overrun. They're coming in from every angle. Snacks will take him down. That's Virtus.Pro winning a 9th round and making it look easy on top.
This is still a T-sided map, Anders. Still a T-sided map. This is North's pick as well. Keep in mind, Nuke is coming up next. VP's strongest map, the map you definitely don't want to play them on.
Yeah,
it's so key for North to pick this map up here at Cobble.
I think Sponge had it right, though. These guys like playing each other's maps, and North are perfectly capable of playing Nuke as well. So I think it's true. It's a coin toss in almost all of the maps right now. The one big difference maker is this insane crowd that just won't stop. They won't leave North alone.
The drain is real. You're right. Can't help but chant along with them.
Well, once again, the fight for the plateau control. Grenade going to do a little bit to config. That's upsetting, but it seems like North want to speed it up once again, try and see if they can get in here. And AZ looking for the rundown. Somehow Pasha gets the kill before he goes down. And now they need to cool it down here. They've got the superior firepower on the VP side. Just wait till everybody's here. Neo trying some random shots.
A 4-on-4, and Neo holding close, and Neo gonna sack himself, and he gets the deny at the last second. MSL now. Darts forward, he's got the UMP and the bomb, but those smokes are clearing up, Anders, and they don't have any left. They have a single, 2 flashes and an HE picked up, and conflict with the AWP, he's gonna have the overwatch, and there it is, the headshot on Bialy, who stands up just a bit too soon. Man advantage now for North in this key round, and they have got the after plans.
Oh man, if conflict holds the line, then he gets the kill, but instead he second guesses himself, and he goes down to Snacks, and now the retake is on. 2 versus 2, this is everything for North. They have to win this round. And Virtus.Pro trying to see if they can fight it back there. Snacks with a kill on MSL, and now Cajun B trying to sneak around. There are 2 smokes up in front of him. He has no idea if they're defusing or not. Now he must have heard it. 3 seconds left. He's coming around, and Taz is there to save his teammate. Great team play coming out, and Virtus.Pro again and again and again. 10 rounds for them.
What remarkable stuff. The duels, the chances being taken by both teams, but in the end it comes down to good solid teamwork to win the day there for VP. And double digits on CT side Cobble now for Virtus.Pro. This is a fantastic first half. 3rd tactical timeout used in the first half here, Anders, for North. They are desperate to get around on the board.
I feel like you would only do that if you've gleaned some sort of weakness in the setup here for Virtus.Pro. I mean, if you're MSL, that's a big timeout to take with just 1 round left. So maybe they found a way through. Cajun B obviously not very excited. 10-4 here. The last round of the first half is coming up. And right now the Polish team have everything they could possibly want. All the grenades, all the rifles. Whereas the same could not quite be set for North.
No, but this was successful last time, and so it looks like they want to go for it again. Straight rush through A, but this time Snacks, he's holding far back, passive, and Bialy with the double. They can't get anything to go for him. Even losing the duel to Taz. MSL gets a drop on him, but that's not good enough. And AZ now in a 1v5, and they know exactly where he's coming from, because the last time they ran this strat, he was at A-long. You already have the nades going in.
Yeah, he's completely trapped here. What an enormously powerful first half coming in from Virtus.Pro right now. AZ, nothing matters at this point. He's going to get 1 headshot, but they're all on the bomb side. They got the bomb locked in. 11-4 in the first half of the first map of the quarterfinals here. The last quarterfinals where we head off into the semis. Immortals are waiting to try and fight Virtus.Pro in the second semifinal. The other one will be Gambit and Astralis. It's out of control.
This is also going to be a fire match. That is going to be sick to see. Gambit versus Astralis, whether the Danish powerhouse can continue to reign supreme and defend their title. That's what's at stake for Astralis. They won the E-League major. They're looking to repeat what SK did last year, winning both majors, winning the 2 majors in the year. And the crowd again. Let's go. Countdown has begun to get into the second half of Cobblestone between Virtus.Pro and North. 11-4. and we're 10 seconds away from seeing if VP are just going to completely crush North, or if we're going to have a game on our hands.
Yeah, there's not going to be any chance if you don't win the pistol round here. That's an absolute given. Virtus.Pro starting off with one smoke, a couple of flashbangs there, but otherwise it's all Glocks, and they're just looking for the fight, trying to see if they can run down North quick. North on the other side, they're all USPs, not even a defuse kit. They don't even want to let Virtus.Pro get onto a bomb site here.
They want nothing but headshots here. They're looking for the duels. And look at this from AZ, exactly. Going aggressive, playing for info. Just barely misses them though. 3 players stacked up, and there will be the pinch onto the A site. From long and underpass, it looks like here for Virtus.Pro. We'll have to see, are they going to be far enough back because they're holding close?
Oh no, there's a problem here.
Yeah, Config is boosted.
Yeah, he's up on the wall boosted. He's going to be crushed from both sides. Unless they hit instant headshots, Config is in a lot of trouble. Neo getting 1 kill, he's fallen, he's down, but they're coming for him. And Bialy will be able to take the kill easily. He was sandwiched in, MSL fighting 3 different players at once. Never advisable now, Cajun being Megis. How do you even dream of retaking this? Virtus.Pro are giving no inch right now to North. It's going to be Megis going down last at a 12-4 lead right now.
And the thunder rolls in. So sick, 12-4. And Config, he's just, I mean, the timing was just barely off for him. If AZ stays alive, Config is just frustrated because there's not really a whole lot you can do. You're absolutely right, Anders. He was in a pinch. If AZ dies, he had to move on to ramp. Nowhere to go. And VP, they're not going to let that go. I think the plow, it's fully revved up. The engine is warm, and they're looking to just go ahead and fling North off the side of the road out of Cobblestone.
Megis wanted to go for the peek with the deagle, but that grenade lands right in his face. Now he peeks. Great flashbang to set that one up. Not a bad idea at all here from the North point of view, but Virtus.Pro stay alive for the moment. Trying to use some grenades to clear out the close plateau position, which is really important. 17th round here. The spray is in, and actually great return from AZ. Looked like he was dead for sure. Cajun with a headshot as well. MSL, oh no, he swaps in the middle of the fight. That must have been a mistake. And now Taz blind shot through. He even did a double peek, and Taz again taking the headshot, trying to see if he can get the one on Megis.
But we're still in a 2-on-2 that heavily favors Virtus.Pro. Taz did the work, and Pasha's there to collect. 2 kills for him, and the round is recovered. And you're absolutely right, MSL, man. Swapping guns, that was the moment to end the terror that would soon become Taz. All right, this is Cajun right there to start things off. That's where you start feeling a bit of pressure if you're VP. But Taz was having none of it. 35 HP, he doesn't care, he'll go ahead and pick up 3.
One tiny mistake could have cost them this first map, or at least be part of it. That's definitely a huge deal. 13-4. And the landslide continues. Virtus.Pro gunning again for the plateau on the B-bomb side, just leading with Pasha. He's got nothing to lose here, just the pistol, and opening up the kill on Cajun B. And on the other side, North, they can't really stand up to this. Megis is hitting just a great headshot, but it's not enough right now. AZ gets a kill, Megis going down, 2-on-3.
Yeah, Molotov behind as well. That's going to force him out into the open. AZ charges into his death, and Taz. Both frags for him, 14-4, a 10-round lead for Virtus.Pro. Things looking up for them, but this was the eco situation for North. Now they're getting into the buy round where they will have the rifles. They've made things competitive here when they've had the pistols, and so you have to hope, you have to think that they're going to be able to get something done when they have superior firepower. No kits, though, picked up for North. Again, just so limited on economy. That's been the story of North's life.
A 10-round lead. How on earth do you come back from that kind of situation? North have only this 1 round to try and fight it with.
MVP, what, cutting him some slack, giving him a tactical timeout, letting him talk it over real quick, you know? Let's be fair here, Anders. You know, give him a best chance. Give him a little chance, right?
I think they were just reminding each other, listen, we're going to just kill him straight in this first map, and then it's all good from there on out. The game is resumed. And now we'll see what North can show us here in the second half. They've got the rifles, they've got some grenades. Can anybody stop Virtus.Pro here on Cobblestone is the question. Config has been trying his best and winning a lot of duels, and even that has not been enough.
Now with their setup, and it looks like he's going to back off and set a bit of a trap here with AZ. Between AZ and Config, they're covering both angles. So we'll see if VP decide to press the issue over here at A long, or if they're going to start rotating over once they've made some noise. This is all on Config now. Neo's going to be taking point, checking the angles. There it is, and he doesn't react in time. Config draws the line and ends it right there for Neo. Taz, what does he decide to do? Of course they know that the second man's going to be there, and he gets snuffed as well.
Great play from Config. That's super important right now. It's their last stand here on Cobblestone at least. 5 versus 3. And looking just slightly better for the Danish side. There's Cajun opening up and taking down Snacks, and Boyali will fall as well. So North, there's still a tiny sign of life here as Cajun picks up Pasha. And North will find a 5th round. That's very important.
And they recover the AWP. That is huge for Cajun. Definitely going to be wanting that because they wouldn't have had the money to get it otherwise. But it was bound to happen. A perfect setup there for North. Neo walking right into it, expecting it to be a lower angle. And Config, one of the key players for North. MSL heavily relies on him to hit headshots. He showed up in a round that mattered. Up to 11 frags. Vegas in the lead with 12. The 2 young guns for the team. And we have to see, is it going to be on their backs that North mounts the return here?
You have to imagine the energy from this crowd will just echo through esports history. I've never experienced anything like this in my life. Config with the AK-47 waiting on the other side. There's no armor on Virtus.Pro, so this should be finally a bit of relief for the North team. This should be a round where they can take a deep breath and actually feel like they've got some solid ground underneath them, that maybe there's still a chance here on Cobblestone.
Virtus.Pro, they were able to win a Pico earlier, but not this time. AZ, perfect spray control. Config there to back him up. This tag team duo working magnificently well. Not a chance for VP in the anti-eco. They don't get anything even close. And they even donate a PG-50 to Config. You don't want that guy getting more firepower. It's less. 14-6, double AWP. Pasha has enough for the AWP of his own. Dropped by Bialy, donated. And now we have to see. This is going to be it. Full kits, full buy for North. Same for VP. And Virtus.Pro once again splitting up. It's going to be Neo and Snacks this time working together as a duo. Snacks there to watch the halls, and Neo making sure that no shenanigans are possible over here at Underpass for North. A very quick setup over at Plateau. And while they are making some noise here, but look at this, the quad double, what? Oh, Anders.
You can do this. It is possible. Let's try and see if they're just going to use it to throw grenades in. Yeah, it's a triple grenade landing, and it does almost no damage at all to Virtus.Pro.
That is so sick. That's some sexy CS right there.
I mean, it's a massive risk in so many ways. Just imagine if someone peaks the plateau at the same time, but in a different time. Could have been for a very good kill. That's also a sign maybe that North are trying to really dig deep in that strat book and figure something out. Virtus.Pro haven't really made much progress across the map. It looks like they just want to go for a fairly common A execute, cutting up the bomb site with a wall of smokes, getting the bomb plant down on the side of the statue, and trying to lock North out of it. I think that's the game plan here for the Poles. And Megis up on the box. Is there going to be a Molotov to cut him out? You can Molotov this position, and it's very important that you do it, and that's the last Molotov, so he's going to have a free shot at anyone coming out on the plateau. Flashbangs are in. Neo gets the return, but Megis is there, still fighting, and then Bialy and Snacks coming back in with 2 big kills. Snacks fighting, he hits a ridiculous headshot, and finally Cajun will take him down, but it might have been too late.
What a shot from Snacks. Cajun in a 1v3, but he's here early enough. He does have some time to work with. The bomb has only just been planted. He's hoping for VP to get clever, but with the AWP, he's going to have to be quick. He can't even scope up again, because if he does, they will hear it, and there's the shot, and he's wide open. Not going to make it out. Taz is there. And VP on map point here on Cobble. They succeed. And all sorts of things had to go their way because the man holding close broken wall went right under him, and Neo gets the key frag, stopping him from doing the damage. Tough to say, tough to say.
Well, it's the calm before the storm here, as North are just one round away from losing the first map, which is their map pick. Not something you want to see in a quarterfinals, but they have been shell-shocked by Virtus.Pro.
The pressure is on, but at least it's not a force in the sense that they actually have money for some guns here. The AWP on Cage, and we'll see where he can decide to get that into action. Trying to set it up, going for the peek. He's got a nade in his hand, and possibly this is the shot. Vegas looking to trade it, but it goes against him. 1-for-1 trade, and this is all on Pasha trying to make the hero play, but Magus is not going to let him have it.
That's a very dangerous peek from Pasha, and at least he got the one, still leaving his team a chance to bring it back at the 3-on-4, but if this next kill doesn't go their way, you have to think it might not work out. Config close with the C-set 75 is such a dangerous position, but look at the boost that's being set up. Snacks peeking it, and Config still hits the headshot. That's very good, taking down Snacks, and Neo trying to hunt him down. They have the time here, but MSL getting a kill and leaving Taz alone, 1 versus 3 in the middle of the map. How do you get out from this?
No, 44 seconds, well, 39 now at least. This is not something where he's got like 10 or 15. You can afford to sit here and wait just a little bit. AZ, this is where you need the scoots, no peek back. You just sit and you wait on your bomb site. You don't go anywhere if you're AZ right now. This is on MSL to kind of peek for the info here at Connector. Does not spot out Taz. And now we're starting to get to the time here where Taz needs to make the play, and he's got the correct read. It's going to be the A play, and will he be able to find AZ fast enough? Or is it just the noise, the fake? Taz in the mind games here, but he's just running out of time.
Yeah, I think he was hoping that someone would try and follow him in. Maybe he'd get the kill and turn around quick or something like that. It's very hard to play those sort of situations, and obviously easier when you have the X-ray. 15-7. North still alive and fighting, looking for 8 straight rounds here. No easy task at all.
Anything is possible in CS though, Anders. That's the thing. You get in the mantra, the old code.
Well, certainly this tournament has been proof of that. The amount of ridiculous stories that are going to come out of this tournament, the fact that Immortals made it further than SK, FaZe didn't make it in, and there's so many ridiculous, the whole story between Big just making it through, and now Virtus.Pro. For a lot of this year, the story surrounding them has been the slump that they've been in, not being able to play well, not qualifying for tournaments, and look at them now, 1 single round away to make it in a step closer towards the semifinals. MSL almost getting called, but that's a nice shot, taking a kill, keeps on spraying, and finally going to be falling back. He doesn't really have the help to keep it going anyway. Somehow Bialy gets 1 in return, but they still know that MSL is here. Neo with a headshot on 1. MSL doing even more work here. He's got a couple of bullets left looking for Snacks, and oh my god, Cage in there to help out. Neo goes down. Great defense from North. What a round. MSL, the captain, being game leader, and now also saving them in that round. Very, very good play.
Are you noticing that the players with the CZs tend to hold that window position?
Yeah.
It's like MSL, Cage, and Config. MSL had an AK. Still holds with the CZ. We're seeing some of the tactical edges coming out here, the advantages that these players know about on each map. So MSL able to put that to good use. 15-8. Another round of eco coming up here for Virtus.Pro. And they might just charge out, not waste any time at all of this one. Neo has got utility, and it's going to be the straight smoke on the plateau. He's got the 2 flashes to set up here for his mates as well. Anti-rush nades going out, and Taz taking a tremendous amount of damage. But there's the timing. Flash, Big is totally white, misses everything. They know where he is, but he's still, Pasha not able to capitalize.
Looked like that was about to get a bit dicey there for Magus, but Cage in there to help him out. Great quad kill for him. Oh man, things are looking slightly better here for North, and we have to remind everybody this is also important. Even if they can't make the full comeback, just not getting swept off the map is important. It mentally helps you to set up for the next map and just keeps you going. So got to see if they can do a bit more here. Cajun certainly is looking fired up right now. And Virtus.Pro should take note of that position by the chicken coop and make sure they Molotov him out next time.
But now they have the nades for it, although they're still light on the Molotovs. Only 2 Molotovs in play, Bialy and Neo.
Look at them. This is obviously MSL trying for a read here. 3 men stacked towards long. just trying to see if they can sort of preempt whatever Virtus.Pro are throwing at them. So they know they're near the edge, and they've got to come up with something creative, and this is a very big investment in map control over on that side. If this was a straight B-rush, the round would probably be over.
Yali getting naded by Magisk as well. Magisk certainly not looking to give him a helping hand. And this is going to be it. Config going to walk right in, and MSL is in position to completely slaughter VP if they try to punish. And with that bomb and those three, it's looking like VP wants to go for a repeat sort of situation. The split, perhaps, the nades are in, and MSL, it's all on him. But the last time they went through here, Neo, check this angle. Taz going to dump, and it's up. No chance at all. MSL stuck, and Taz to the smoke. Takes down Config with the headshot. It's spinning out of control for VP.
2 versus 5, hold on to the first map here. Taz gets a 3rd kill, and that leaves Cajun Molotov down in a 1 versus 4. More grenades are raining in, 1 versus 5 in fact, and he's got almost no chance. The crowd has simply ignited here at the Torrent Arena. They know what's coming next. They know Virtus.Pro got this first map. Cajun trying his best, but it's too late. There are too many people to find, and there it is. 16 rounds for Virtus.Pro. They win the first map of the quarterfinals against the 9 of North.
Israel is real. They have made it happen. Virtus.Pro, they are now up 1-0, 1 map away from a spot in the semis and a chance at the finals. And we may, in a world, we may have the repeat of E-League. It is possible. But now we're going to see just what is in store for us after the break, whether or not North will be able to take their opponent's map. Virtus.Pro, can they get the lockdown on Nuke? We've seen just how good they can be on that map. It is a tall order here for North to get their heads back in the game and take them down on a home map.
There were a lot of people doubting Virtus.Pro in this particular game and in this particular tournament, but there's about 15,000 people here in Krakow saying, no sir, they believed, and you could hear them all the way through, and right now, it's completely exploded.
Never had anything like this, man. The thunder of the feet, the chants, the singing.
Amazing.
What a fantastic atmosphere here in Krakow for the major. And VP, that's it. They've done half the job.
Now look at Snacks. He's from Krakow himself, born and raised here, and coming back to play in an arena that he grew up in the neighborhood of. That must be quite something at this level.
That's the dream come true, isn't it? Right? Your kid, you see this arena? Oh, by the way, playing in there, house full of fans, and we're looking at a pretty good situation here to make it to the semis. We'll hear what the analysts have to say now on the panel about the first map, and obviously what they think is going to happen next on Nuke.
The plow is in full effect. Virtus.Pro take the opening game here in the quarterfinals. Natu and Sponge have enjoyed themselves. I'm not quite sure whether they're going to be able to analyze anything too much in this one, because that was a tough one for an analysis segment, wasn't it? How did you break that down?
When you have an 11-4 first half and Taz and Neo are your top fraggers with Snacks and Biley at the bottom of the scoreboard, you just wonder what's happening with life, don't you? That's the old dogs, stepping up, and the adjustments that they made, their positioning. They were bailing VP out of rounds where they were losing entry frags, and it was kind of all the kills were just going their way after those things happened. So I don't really believe in magic, but I definitely think the crowd helps VP with their mentality. These guys
don't believe in magic.
No,
you've just spent 40 minutes in the company of 15,000 people cheering.
Yeah, but
that's magical, Sponge. Get with the program.
It's magical, but
get
it's
on
not
the hype
magic.
train. Get on the hype train. Get on the hype train. Get on it. Just get on it. No.
I mean, it's hard not to, and especially when they're in this kind of glorious form, as it were. I mean, we said they were in a slump. Slump?
Yeah.
What kind of slump? Because this is a different team playing today.
I really thought for North, when they're unable to set that pace, Sponge was talking about for the game with how they like to really establish it in the manner that they play, but none of it really works, and they're never really able to get that one breakthrough kill to be able to get the bomb site, have a really good situation in terms of man advantage. And then when they do set the pace to a higher one and they're just rush on A, that's when they get some rounds, a couple of them. One actually threw an eco towards the B bomb site in the middle of it. And then you see in the tail end of that first half, VP already adjusted to the fact that it's very possible. It's very likely North is going to throw something really fast at them, so they already have 3 people on A. Snack is on top of the A bomb site, peeking down with that op. So, yeah, it felt like VP was always just one step ahead. They were super comfortable, and on the other hand, North just not able to establish the kind of way they wanted to play the game.
Yeah, I mean, North will be disappointed. It was their map pick after all. Do you think they'll feel a little better after clawing their way back a little bit in the game? Because otherwise that looked like they were destroyed.
It's very important for them, I think, to warm into the game a little bit more, right? You know, you saw everyone slowly getting more and more multi-frags, especially when we switched over. MSL was even getting some kills there towards the drop zone. So for their confidence in terms of being warm for the next map, that's a positive. But it just felt like, I didn't even think MSL was making terrible calls. They just couldn't get like a stead in the round. They couldn't get the ground they needed. And when they did, it just didn't fall their way. There was like a couple of times where they were up man advantages, and then like Neo gets a two-piece from nowhere, and it's like, well, cool.
It's
Our scoreboard from Boomian is on the screen right now. Natty, you were going to say?
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show, like, especially if you go to B, even if you get drop control, if you're not able to get the guys that then are playing a plateau, it just nullifies the whole deal, right? I mean, you get one part of the bomb site, but there's still that territory that you haven't cleared at all, and the situation is a 4-4, it's a 5-on-4 situation. It just makes it impossible for you, and that's when you get sandwiched as well with rotations coming in. So if you're not able to sandwich the CTs initially so that you're pressuring from plateau, you're pressuring from drop simultaneously, it's just never going to work.
Scoreboard on the screen. Also, we'll bring up the MVP as well.
Taz, maybe? Maybe even Pasha had a bit of impact.
By this. Might be surprised.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
so,
makes sense.
Okay, just for people playing at home, when you see Pasha at long with the orb and he makes 2 kills and you have a 3v5 advantage and then he's on 12 HP but he continues to repick, that's the Pasha playstyle that we talk about that you probably shouldn't do.
Don't
right?
copy it.
Don't do that matchmaking.
It's not fundamentally sound in any way.
But it's flipping fun to watch.
What a diplomatic way to put it.
Look, it's like you sit there and you go, like, you have any situation like that when you have a 3v5 advantage and you don't even need the information anymore, just fall back.
I know, but crowd. Chad, crowd.
Sure.
You've got your first 2. You go for the hero play for the 3rd. I mean, come on.
No.
Gotta love it.
If it works, right?
I mean, you'd love to see it from a spectator's point of view, but anyone that likes to like kind of see the game from a tactical perspective or doing the right things kind of a perspective, hate to see it.
In other words, tilted beyond belief already. How can you be tilted by a game like that? The crowd love that. We love that. We're going to head to a break right now. Don't go too far away, though. Game number 2. Virtus.Pro, 1 game away from the semi-finals.